Today is Friday, September 4th. Welcome to this edition of Nevada County Now. Today's episode, we're talking Woolman School, elections, new COVID tiers, and more. Hope you'll join us. Welcome to Nevada County Now. I'm your host, Cole Pettit. Last Friday, Governor Gavin Newsom announced changes to the state's COVID-19 response with what they're calling a blueprint for a safer economy. With this new plan, every county in California is assigned to a tier based on two metrics: its test positivity and adjusted case rate. The test positivity is the percentage of positive tests per week, while the adjusted case rate is a measure of the number of new cases per 100,000 citizens per week. Counties must remain in a tier for at least 3 weeks before moving forward. Data is reviewed weekly, and tiers are updated on Tuesdays. To move forward, a county must meet the next tier's criteria for 2 consecutive weeks. If a county's metrics worsen for 2 consecutive weeks, it will be assigned to a more restrictive tier. There are 4 tiers in the system, from Tier 1, widespread, where most counties currently sit, to Tier 4, minimal, where there are currently only 2 counties. Nevada County currently sits in Tier 2, substantial, with a 4.1 adjusted case rate and a 2.2% test positivity rate, which puts us right on the edge of moving to a less restrictive Tier 3. Individual action will lead to collective mitigation that will shift the county's tier status. Wearing a mask, maintaining physical distance, washing your hands, and getting tested can help move Nevada County from Tier 2 to Tier 3 and support decreased modifications to business operations. It should also be noted that increased testing has a positive impact on our case rate due to an adjustment factor that is applied if our testing is better than the state average. Additionally, if fewer people get tested, it means that a higher proportion of those being tested are symptomatic, thus driving up our positivity rate. Getting tested is one way to keep Nevada County moving forward through the tiers. Test sites have reduced turnaround times, and many are currently offering same-day appointments. 2 OptumServe testing sites are available in Nevada County, 1 in Grass Valley and 1 in the town of Truckee. Symptomatic or asymptomatic can be tested. Insured, underinsured, and uninsured are welcome. You must pre-register and schedule an appointment at lhi.care/COVID testing or call 888-634-1123. This week, we've seen an increase of 20 COVID-19 cases, bringing our total to 450 confirmed cases. 58 cases are currently active with 1 hospitalization. 17,376 tests have been performed, an increase of 625 tests this week, and we're still sitting at 5 deaths. Visit mynevadacounty.com/coronavirus for the most up-to-date information available. The National Weather Service in Sacramento has issued an excessive heat warning for this Labor Day weekend. This warning is active from Saturday, September 5th through Tuesday, September 8th. Highs in the valley are expected to be between 95 and 110 degrees. They recommend that you drink plenty of water, avoid outdoor strenuous activity between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., help the elderly and children stay cool, and plan to be in an air-conditioned building if possible. While our air quality has been improving the rest of the week, it appears to have taken a step back today. At the time of recording, our current score sits in the unhealthy range. Everyone should avoid strenuous activities and choose things like walking instead of running so you don't breathe as hard and shorten the amount of time you're active outdoors. To view the air quality rating for yourself, visit airnow.gov. The Jones Fire is now contained, and the rebuilding process is already getting started. The Woolman School suffered significant damage during the fire. I spoke with Marty Coleman Hunt, the executive director, about the damage they suffered, their plans moving forward, and how we can help. So I'm joined today by Marty Coleman Hunt, interim executive director of the Woolman School. Thanks for joining me today, Marty. How you doing?
I'm doing better. Thank you.
Yeah. So to start off, can you tell us a little bit about Woolman School?
Sure. Woolman The Woolman School has been operating since 1963. So it's going on 60 years now that this has been an institution in our community. Um, 3 generations of kids have gone to the Woolman School through the program. Um, it was a residential high school since the early 60s. And then somewhere around the early 2000s, the school closed as a residential school and it turned into a different type of program, a semester program, and then more recently, more like a school camp. We were having, over the last few years, we've hosted kids with their classes from the Oakland Unified School District. These are kids that have never been to a place like this in the Sierra foothills, got a chance to see the stars, walked in the forest and walked around at night without fear. It was a really transformative experience for some of these kids, even to be there for just 1 week. Unfortunately, COVID stopped those programs, and we've been struggling since early spring with just trying to stay alive until we get through the COVID crisis and are able to have kids back on campus again. And then the fire hit.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to get to next was tell us a little bit about I mean, it must have been an incredibly scary experience and to not know what was going on. And, so can you tell us a little bit about what that was like and then what the result from that has been?
Yeah, it was scary. The evacuation order started about 5:30 in the morning. We do have residents on campus. There's about 20 people who live there in they were teacher homes at the time, but now they're just they're tenants. All those folks had to leave quickly because the fire was coming over the ridge from the Rush Creek area pretty quickly. So, and then we didn't really know we didn't know how fast the fire was traveling. We didn't have any information for several days until a couple of film crews from Sacramento television stations were able to get in and take some photos and let us know. That's how we found out that what the losses were. But still, we didn't know how big the losses would be. We didn't know how extensive they would be across the campus. So it wasn't until Friday when I was able to get a police escort in there to get a chance to take a look at the damage.
So how extensive is the damage?
So we had 44 buildings on the campus. It's a 30-acre campus that's surrounded by about 200 acres of forest. In the inner campus, we have about 44 buildings, and we lost 16 buildings and had damage to 3. Among the buildings that were lost were a residence, a large office building that housed Sierra Streams Institute, which was a tenant and a partner on our campus, and a number of our dormitories where we would host kids, and also agricultural buildings and facilities that were really critical for the ongoing operations. So, but we lost infrastructure like our many of the electrical infrastructure, our wastewater treatment, conduits, the potable water and irrigation system all had breaches, and we've been working really hard to get those utilities back online so the tenants could move back. And then last week I was able to walk the campus with a forester, and we got a chance to see the extent of the damage to the forest, and which is really devastating.
What then are the next steps? How do we help you rebuild and get back to providing that resource to these kids?
I appreciate the question. I have been overwhelmed with the amount of support and love and offers of assistance. It's been tremendous. And, that's the thing that's keeping us going and keeping us moving forward and not losing faith. We will move forward, we will rebuild, and we will reopen. We now have a chance to make upgrades to buildings and really bring them up to code and make sure that they're well suited for the kinds of programs that we have going forward. So there's a little bit of a silver lining. We there's a Nevada County Relief Fund that's going on right now, and we have submitted a proposal for some funding relief. We have like a GoFundMe page on our website, so we're getting donations, which is extremely helpful as it's going to be a while before our insurance is able to actually do the full assessment and help us get started with rebuilding. So financial support is really important. The county has been very helpful in coordinating emergency response and providing social services. I really appreciate that and hope that people understand how competent our county is in pulling all of this together and really supporting our community in the recovery process.
Can you go ahead and tell us your website where people can go donate?
Yes, it's www.woolman.org, and that's spelled Woolman, like the sheep, Woolman. And on there, you'll see I have a blog there where I'm doing regular updates on periodically as things change, just to allow people to feel connected to what's going on the ground and be kept informed. And also there is a donate page where we're running our fundraising campaign.
Well, thank you very much for joining me today, Marty.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Marty. Again, if you would like to donate to their recovery efforts, visit them at woolman.org. We'll continue our election coverage this week with a look at the race for the Nevada Joint Union High School District. For more, let's turn it over to Sonora Slater.
Thanks, Cole. The Nevada Joint Union High School District, or NJUHSD, is comprised of 6 schools, including Bear River, Nevada Union, Godoti, Silver Springs, North Point Academy, and Adult Education. The mission of the district is for all members of the educational community to participate in an environment of understanding and mutual respect that allows individuals to maximize their potential and find success in their future. There are 5 elected members of the Board of Trustees, each representing a different geographical area, as well as a student representative who is elected by NJU HSD students. This year, only 1 seat is up for election, with both Dwayne Gansky and Leslie Latyak, neither of whom are incumbent, running for the full-term Area 4 seat. Dwayne Gansky has been involved with local schools for decades. He is a former NJU HSD Teachers Association president, the former Bear River Athletics Director, and has won several awards for his work as a basketball coach. He coached high school basketball for 29 seasons, having coached teams both at Bear River and Nevada Union. He was named the California Coach of the Year in 2004, inducted into the Optimists Basketball Hall of Fame in 2016, and inducted into the Sac Joaquin Section Hall of Fame the same year. Leslie Latyak has a degree in business and has experience in accounting and finance, as well as budgeting. She was elected to the Union Hill School Board in 2017 and is personally invested in the quality of local education as she has 2 children, one of whom is a sophomore at Nevada Union and one of whom is in 8th grade at Union Hill. She wants to focus on short-term issues such as ensuring every family has adequate technology and internet access to participate in distance learning, as well as on accountability and strong leadership. Back to you, Cole.
Thanks, Sonora. With so much divisiveness, seemingly both locally and nationally, it can be tough at times to see the good. But former Grass Valley Mayor Jason Foyer is doing his best to bring kindness back to the forefront of our community. We'll leave you this evening with a look at his efforts. And remember, stay safe, take care of each other. We'll see you next week.
Could you talk a little bit about who you are, how you are involved in the community, and what made you decide to start this?
Well, I was born and reared here. My wife and I moved back 17, 18 years ago, and since then we've been involved in lots of different community activities, from boards and commissions to city halls to city nana. I was the former mayor, and so kind of a natural thing for us to be automatically engaged.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about the kindness wall and.
So Nevada's County Kind essentially started with one sleepless Thursday night, where I was a little bit frazzled after reading social media and watching the events that have kind of taken place locally with a lot of people not necessarily being kind to each other, kind of a lot of shouting, a little bit of violence in Nevada City. And I grew up here, and the thing that I've always prided ourselves most on here locally in our community is that we're kind people. I used to bring friends home from college, and they would all leave here just feeling what a great and nice place this was. And so we said, how do we easily, with little effort, just get people refocused on how to be kind? And so we started a little Facebook page called Nevada County Kind, and got some stickers going, reached out to some of the local electeds, the Chamber of Commerce, the Downtown Association, Grass Valley Police Department, and it just felt like something everybody quickly embraced. We can do better, and kind of fall back on our roots of who we are as a community, and we're kind people. And we said we're not just going to be kind, but we're going to be a higher level of kind, Nevada County Kind. And so we've started this. We got a little Facebook activity going on, and City Grass Valley started the kindness wall, where folks can come down, post their good thoughts about how to be kind. And again, it's just a little bit of a redirection to kind of show the community and the world that we're kind people, and we can do it, and we can do better than what we have been doing.
If people want to get a sticker, where can they get one?
So stickers are located at my office, 1188 East Main Street. It's Cramner Engineering. You can get them at City Hall. You can get them at the Grass Valley Police Department and Grass Valley Downtown Association, Miners Foundry, and the Nevada City Chamber of Commerce. And we're trying to get more stickers out and about. This was solely funded by my family, so Lorraine's Lowdown on the Union wrote a little article last Saturday, and since then it was was seen by Real Graphics, and Real Graphics has decided to print us free of charge some additional stickers. So we're trying to get them into a lot of our downtown shops, and those are who are willing to pass it out. So really easy to get.
And then if somebody wants to add something to the wall, how can they do that? Is there paper down here to write on, or should they bring it?
So there are some guidelines. You can make it in person by just putting up here, or you can get it to email it, or get to the city at, Jamal Walker. He has an email, and he'll accept them and get them up here for you.